Geelong and District Football League would like to thank the following sponsors: Smith's Holden, Buckley's Entertainment Centre, Corio Bay Health Group.
Good morning and welcome again to the GDFL Footy Show, coming to you on a beautiful sunny day in beautiful downtown Geelong, and boy are we excited. The finals are underway, big games last weekend, a couple of big games on this weekend, but last week we saw the first week of the finals out of the St Albans Reserve, and the first game as a qualifying final was on the Saturday. The North Geelong Magpies absolutely too good for the Inverleigh Hawks in the qualifying final, with Jamie Pittman and Paul Briggy kicking 3 goals apiece, and Derek Fitzsimmons undoubtedly the best player on the ground, a magnificent effort by Fitzy and a great effort by the North Geelong Magpies. On the game on Sunday, it was elimination final day, cutthroat game. East Geelong Eagles really found some form that's been wanting over the last couple of weeks. Too good for the Winchelsea Blues, with the evergreen Ricky O'Toole once again an absolute delight to watch and controlling the whole game impressively again. Hello, I'm Dick Philpott, and once again I have assembled a couple of the biggest names and brains in country football to eradicate, adjudicate, communicate, articulate and not procrastinate. And a very special guest panellist this morning, because the little fella is not here this morning. He's somewhere up on his way down from Werribee, we hope. But I've got the president of the Tommy Tigers, Terry McLeod. G'day, mate.
How are you, Dick?
And thanks for coming in on a beautiful Saturday morning, mate.
It is beautiful, yes.
You had nothing else to do this morning?
No, I could have worked, but I chose this.
Good on you, mate. Great to have you on the show, and Terry's going to be with us for the entire show, which will be great, and a very special presentation coming up for Terry later on. A little bit more of that later. And my other panellist who needs absolutely no introduction, he's the man from the Colts Footy, but he's our regular panellist this year, Alex Degani. G'day, mate.
Morning, Dick. It's the last weekend of August, but like you said, the sun's come out and a few more games of footy left for our GDFL community.
I feel absolutely blossoming when this weather comes out, Alex. Absolutely blossoming.
Well, it's as if we could predict it from 3 days in the future. But anyways, back to the GDFL.
Fantastic, mate. A good round of matches last week to kick the finals off. A bit one-sided,
yep.
But disappointing, Terry, that the games weren't as close as they'd like it to be.
No, I went to both games and I thought that they were over very early, so it wasn't good for the crowd. But
very early. So I don't mind that if the Magpies are a fair way in front. I don't give a stuff about close grand finals if they're a long way in front. Now, we had a big night also at Buckley's Entertainment Centre on Monday night, get the days right, Dick, and we saw the Neville Whitley medal and, of course, Andrew Chalice, a magnificent winner, and after being runner-up a couple of times, Andrew's finally won the Whitley medal. That was a great achievement, Alex, wasn't it?
It was very good on his behalf, but we were a bit worried because Ricky O'Toole, who you mentioned moments ago, he got that many votes for himself. It almost pipped it off Chalice, but he got there in the end, so congratulations, because I think he came runner-up the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, it's good effort by Andrew Chalice and a good result for the East Geelong Eagles. Now, we spoke about the game last weekend. It was an absolute beauty. It was the North Geelong Magpies who cleaned up the Inverleigh Hawks, and Grubby caught up with the coach of the North Geelong Magpies, Darren Doggy Ryan.
I reckon the way he's played most of the day, you probably could have won by 10 or 11. I know you're not going to say that, but you probably could have won by more. Did you take the foot off the pedal a little bit towards the end?
No, not to be honest with you, no. We never did in the third quarter. I wanted to rest Desi and PJ. If you've seen, I just didn't want, the last quarter's going to be pretty hard going into the wind, and I just sort of rested them in that area. But to be honest with you, we put Grovo in behind the play in the last 15, 17 minutes of the quarter. It was just more to slow the game down, rest our blokes up. We didn't really take our foot off the pedal. It was just change the way we normally play.
Yeah, look, I don't normally disagree with the coaches, but I have to disagree a little bit. I don't think it was as physical as what I've seen. Last week, went beyond the point of no return. You really needed the rest. But I've got a funny feeling you nearly got that rest today. You wouldn't have had much more of a hit out than Balpo still would have against themselves, I don't reckon.
Oh, listen, when we played Balpo Steel last week, mate, that was a tough game. That was really, really tough. But today was tough as well. I can't take it away. If you look at the one-on-ones, we smashed bodies, we're in and under. Look, and I thought we matched in that area, and we probably won in that area pretty comfortable. But in saying that, against the Balpo Steelers, mate, they're tough. They're tough, they're good.
Well, I tell you what, we had the greatest game I've ever seen last week, and we get a chance to have it next week, and I'm pretty sure no matter what happens next week, we'll get the chance to see it again in 2 weeks. I know you want to beat them next week, but there's still 2 big ones to go.
Oh, big games, mate. Hopefully, there's no hiding behind the fact we want to beat Balpo still. We would love to have a week off, but the reality of it is we'll take week at a time and see how we go. But it's going to be a great hit out. We've still got Rocket Hutchison, Dan Keys, and De Blasio to come in next week. So I'm pretty stiff on a few blokes this week. Who I thought whole 22 played their part, but the reality of it is 3 blokes that played today won't be playing next week. So really good. Looking forward to playing Balpo still with a couple of rested players and going head to head said with Gurge on the coaching side of things, he's going to be a tough game, mate. I'll probably walk away with the biggest headache every weekday. Coach against Gurge, he probably is one bloke that we all probably rate extremely high because he's a fantastic coach and a good bloke, mate.
Yeah, well, we all do, and we actually rate you pretty high too. But look, you know, as I say, last week, big game. What about another rest? You'd really want another rest now, I reckon.
Yeah and no. Sometimes it's hard to flirt with form. If you start getting that form, mate, you're best off keep going. I don't. To be honest with you, will a rest help us? Possibly, it may not. You know, like I wouldn't. Yeah or nay with it, mate. I'm not in. To be honest with you, it's just plenty of sides have played one premiership. They've gone week after week and gone into them. You know, we did it last year against Balboa Hill. They had the week off prior. So that, you know, does that hurt you? I don't know, mate. It's a hard ask, hard question.
Talking about love, how many sides in this competition wouldn't love Rickett, Parker, Matheson, Heiss, all these blokes down back? You've got the best six in the comp. They were just terrific today.
Our backline were fantastic, mate. They were really good. You know, but they get challenged next week. You know, with Page, he's in form at the moment. You know, he kicked 5 against us last time, and the big fella kicked 5. So we've got to make sure we get our matchups in that area. Trev Ferguson's very dangerous. You know, and then Basley goes down there. Timmy Barton, it leads up really hard and high for him. You know, big crash and bash work player. So we've got some our defenders are going to have a big game next week. And you know, I think defensively it's going to be really tough. Midfield one-on-one is going to be really exciting to watch. And their backlines, they've got a fantastic backline, mate. They've got a really good, hard-running backline. You know, so it's going to be a great challenge for us.
Mate, look, thanks for coming in. You're going to have a tough week because, as we just discussed before on air, the three blokes came in today were really, really good. So you've got a real big headache week. All the best for this week. All the best for SU, and thanks for coming in, mate.
Good on you, Grub. Thanks, mate.
Darren Doggy Ryan being interviewed there by Grubby Cations, and of course he's looking forward to a big game this afternoon. Well, they both are actually. We're going to throw out some highlight packages now from both games, from the qualifying final last Saturday and the elimination final on Sunday.
Parker out in front of him, needs to sit for him. Meehan bears down, gets a shepherd from Miller. Kick around the corner towards centre wing's okay. Wright takes the mark, plays on quickly. Not much to kick to now. He goes long with a wobbly punt kick towards Briggy. Sets it and good mark, AJ.
That's a great mark because the ball
DeSanto
was spinning funnily. Gee.
In front. Comes in southern end of the ground, keeps it low with the breeze. That's a good kick. And he puts his through. Get up and wax lyrical there with each other. He goes short to Ferguson. He takes the mark in between fullback and centre half back. Chips the ball over the top. Further afield, sets a Van Creek in a task. Under pressure, Hamer through the middle. Deserves a goal for his first quarter. Goes in and kicks it. Good play, Will Hamer. And he puts...
Who runs away from that position. It comes outside 50. I don't know where he's looking for, Matho. The kick wasn't good. Finds Perrott. Perrott goes over the top, back towards Gerard in the pocket. And he takes it on the boundary line. Got through the first contest. Missed a handball up. Went back towards Matheson. Has time to steady now, Matho. Handball goes up to Fitzsimmons. He's taken in the tackle. Put the ball down. Umpires allowed it to go on. Matheson back in support. Handball goes back towards Blake Miller. He's under pressure now. Picks up again. Handball goes back. Matho's got a bit of a breather out here. And it's picked up by Parker. It goes across the ground and a good kick. Finds Woods. So Woods now from centre half back position. First bounce didn't come back to him. Puts himself under pressure. Handball goes over the top.
He's been involved in the game for his opportunities. So he's outside 50. He won't get the distance with the kick, but he's going to load up. He's going to go to about 20 metres out. Jones is up and a good set of hands, a good mark. Comes in, only 15 metres out. That's a better looking kick. And the umpire says that's okay.
Down, but Chalice gets the first kick to an open centre half forward for East Geelong. Trotter comes out. Matheson against him. Oliver's there as well. Chalice gets it again. Rides the bump and takes them on. 50 out. Right foot kick to finish towards O'Toole in the square. And Ricky takes the mark. Comes in. And kicks the goal.
And of course, we'll have some highlights of this week's footy games on again next Saturday morning. We're going to take a short break, pay some bills, and be right
The
back
following sponsors: Smith's Holden, Buckley's Entertainment Centre, Corio Bay Health Group, Blood Suzuki,